and we are doing Canto 3 Part 2, a new chapter. And this is a chapter 20. It's a conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. What happened in the last episode was the fight between Hiranyaksha and the Lord Varaha. And Varaha kills Hiranyaksha. The gods were cheering him. Things were moving along. The Lord leaves this earth and goes back to his heavenly plane. And we were told that listening to this story, you will be much happy. And in the end, if you were to listen, you can reach your moksha also. So the general idea was, this story was very important to all of us. Now we are continuing to where we had started. Maitreya Muni is sitting in his place near the Narmada bank of river or Yamuna bank, and Vidura is come in front of him and he has asked him a lot of questions. So we are recapping the whole thing once again and starting from the point where we left in the last canto. So let us start with the new chapter today. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2. This is chapter 20. Conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. Verse 1. Sri Saunak inquired, O Sutta, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, why did Swayambhu Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? Now, we are recapping it back to where we started again. Here you will find that the Rishigans are sitting in front of Sutta Goswami. Sutta is recounting what he had heard from Sukdev. So the Rishis are asking him, like Shaunaka Rishi is asking, why is it important that human beings have to reach the state of liberation? See, human beings are born on this planet Earth. They believe that they have taken birth on this planet so that they can grow up on this planet using its resources, doing some studies, taking up a job or doing some business, getting married, settling down, becoming old, retirement, old age, pension, all these things, plus sickness, acquisition of wealth. All these things are a part and parcel of human birth. This is what everybody is doing. Even till the end of life, people have really no clue why they are here. They live a life like 99.9% of the people living it like a mundane experience. Ask anybody. And you will find that for them, their ultimate satisfaction is to have more money, to be rich in this world, so-called happiness, peace. This is all the general idea everybody seems to have. But whenever the great people had come, sages and saints, and the Lord himself had taken birth, they had always told us that our job, that is the job of a human being, is to reach the state of liberation. Isn't it? Because that is the fourth Purusharth, the idea about getting out of this entanglement. So the concept of rebirth was also there. Everybody is born again and again and again and again. So this is the only religion which teaches you that there is a rebirth. Rest of the religions stop at, no, once you are finished, you go to heaven. After that, the story doesn't continue. But let me ask you a question. Did Mission Impossible stop at the first episode? How many episodes are going on? It is going to go on. Don't worry about it. A story in India which is the last year it did really well was called Durandar. Do you think Durandar is going to end over there? No. You know, Captain America, Iron Man, you know, all those people. We want to see the next version and the next version, and you want to know what happened next, what happened next, what happened next. People come murder, they can kill thousands and thousands of people and just they are sent to hell. What are you talking about? You mean to say that they have reached their ultimate destination of hell? And then you are talking about souls. If there are souls, what has the soul got to do going to hell? I mean, think about it. And the soul going to heaven? I mean, I don't think you should be enjoying your burgers every day, is it? Huh? Someday you have to enjoy a pizza, someday you have to enjoy something else also, someday you have to go hungry also. So you need a variety. So multiple births happen. You are born in various wombs, but here the answer is only the human birth is the reason how we can reach liberation. Liberation means not ever coming back. Got the point? So Shaunaka Rishi, he is asking his mentor, that is Sut Goswami, can you please tell me this human birth, what exactly is the way of reaching this state of liberation, and was it taught to Manu? Manu is the first man, because Manu seems to be knowing a lot of stuff, isn't it? So naturally, was it taught and is it valid? So now let us see what happens. Shaunaka Rishi inquired about Vidura, who was a great devotee and the friend of Lord Krishna, and who gave up the company of his elder brother because the latter, along with his sons, played tricks against the desire of the Lord. This is going back to Mahabharata. Please remember this. Vidura had left the kingdom because he saw his elder brother, the blind one, Dhritarashtra. He and his sons had played tricks on the Pandavas, how they have thrown them out of the kingdom by deceitful means. And naturally he did not like it, and the war was there. Mahabharata war was there. So Vidura said, I am not interested in all these things. Because see, I don't want to be living with a person who is a deceitful character. And he goes away. Now we had come to a point where Vidura, he takes the entire Brahman. That means he goes all over the world searching for answers. You remember? Like even in your case, what do you say every time when you are always at a dead end? You know what you say? I want to go somewhere and I want to search for answers. Every human being wants answers. We need answers. We need to know the truth. What is the truth about life? These are big questions. And it is only going to come to you the day you lose your job, the day you lose your wife or your husband, the day something very major happens in your life. You are told that you have cancer, or you're going to die very soon, or somebody very close to you is dead, or maybe your child gets abducted, something or the other, some dangerous things happens in your life. You have no money left. That is the only time when you are going to turn towards God and wanting to know the answers. Till that time you are just so comfortable in that cocoon of yours, lost in this world, that human beings are least bothered about it. Old people especially, they think that they have worked, I have worked for so many years of my life, now I want to have a comfortable retired life. Is that what you are supposed to be searching for? Please remember one thing. That is the stupidest thing on planet Earth. That means you are living like any other animal. A cow, a dog, a pig. What is the difference between a pig and you? Got the point or no? The pig also lives a life, okay, by the way. A bird lives a life. Animals, birds, fishes. It's only when the fish gets caught that he's thinking of God. Only when the animal is going for slaughter, that time he will think of God. You also are doing the same thing. So we have to search for answers. We have to know the answers. That is the reason why, what does a person do? When he gets disgusted with his life, when he feels completely, I don't like what I am doing, I hate this life, I don't want this kind of a thing, and that utter disgust and dispassion and detachment comes into the picture, you see your own family people reacting very badly to you. What do? They keep on saying something or the other to you. You are a useless person, you don't do anything, full day you are sitting watching TV. Isn't that what everything happens? You see, look at everyone. Why are you lost in your phone? Why is the phone with you? You don't do any work at home. What kind of a life? Okay, the old man will say, no, I have worked for so many years. Or the woman will say, I have been working my ass off for last so many years. Really? So you expect that somebody has to treat you nicely? I am sorry. They have always looked at you as a milk cow, you know that? They want to remove milk and they want to use that milk. But once you stop giving milk, nobody wants you. They will send you to an abattoir where they are going to cut you into pieces and sell it as meat. So people are not actually interested in you. So the time comes in your life when you are going to search for answers. You want to go somewhere. People in India, they will say, I will go to Banaras, I will go to Himalayas, I will go to this place, I will go to that place. Go to Tirunamalai over here, you will find that there are people, old people roaming around looking for answers. They think they are going to become Ramana Maharshi. It doesn't work like that. Nobody has to go anywhere. You think I didn't do that, this body? Well, I went to the Himalayas. I got a kick on my backside. My Guruji told me, get out from here, get lost. Your job is to go and teach, go teach people. I was so reluctant, I didn't want to come back. But I was forced to come back. I had to listen to my Gurudev. And he said, what is the point of going to Himalayas or some such place? Don't go. I want you to think of those people who are eternal. Eternal people are there in this world or no? Right? So there are people who are eternally there. I want you to think, what does Parshuram do? What does he do today? What does Dattatreya do? What is Ashwatthama doing? I hope you are getting these questions. What does Hanumanji do? These are eternal people. They are going to be there till the end of time. They have nothing to do. What are we supposed to do? Save the world? You think they are going to go for the Davos conference over there? I don't think so. They're least bothered about it. Whether Greenland is taken or not taken, whether it is Iceland or Greenland, nobody knows. You understand? The stupidity of it all. Even Dattatreya will be looking and saying, okay, this guy doesn't even know where is Iceland and where is Greenland. And what is the difference between the two? Nobody is going to know. You are not interested. You think you are interested? But here, Vidura had come to this state where he had to search for answers. I need to know. So what he did was he went all over India, searching for answers for many, many years. And you really think he got the answers? Zero answers, no answers at all. He came back to the kingdom and he found that Krishna has gone away. Krishna, his friend, had gone away. Then he looks around and he finds, Uddhava. And he looks at Uddhava and he says, Uddhava, can you tell me the answers? Because Krishna must have told you. Uddhava says, I don't have the time to talk to you. I have to go to the Himalayas myself. Because he is very old. He is also 125 years old. So he goes to the Himalayas. Who does he leave behind? He says to him, see, do one thing. The Lord has given answers, no doubt about it. Krishna has left behind some answers. Go to Maitreya Muni. He is near the Yamuna river. He is sitting over there. He has been told to tell you the answers. So go over there, you will find your answers. So you need a sage in your life to actually tell you the answers. Vidura, after roaming all over the world, didn't find any answers, my dear. I hope you get it. Answers are not available in any Himalayas or sitting in like a yogi somewhere. I am doing Kriya Yoga. What Kriya Yoga you are going to do? Nothing is going to come. You can keep on doing as many yogas as you want. There are going to be no answers for you. You will be still at the end of the day, dhundte reh jaoge. You are keeping on searching and searching and searching. No answers will come. Here is the same story is there with Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni is telling the answers to Vidura. Because if Maitreya was not there, do you think the answers which were given to him by Krishna could have gone ahead? So you need an enlightened master to give you these answers. Don't just think that, okay, I will read some book, I will go on the internet and now Ch20 I can do. Sir, you can keep on doing Ch20 till the end of time, nothing is going to happen. You can keep on going to any Himalayas or any God-forsaken lands. You can go even to the Arctic and Antarctic also. Or with Elon Musk you can go, because he said he is an alien. So go with this alien guy to Mars also. Nothing is going to happen. Maybe you will have 2 antennas on top of your head. That's the only thing you will grow. But no brains. So you need someone like Maitreya Muni to give you the answers. That is why spirituality is a very, very difficult subject. It's not as easy as you can think of. It cannot be taught in any university. You see, even a PhD cannot teach spirituality. Let me tell you this much. Because there are lots of these people in this world who seem to get some degrees from all these big institutions, and they think they can teach, enlightenment, spirituality, consciousness, this, that, all kinds of big words they will keep on throwing. Don't fall for it. Because these words make zero value. They are not going to take you anywhere. On the contrary, you will die a miserable death in the end. So you need someone who will guide you to the answers. So Vidura is meeting Maitreya Muni for that. So now we are going to learn Vidura's story. So Vidura was born from the body of Ved-Vyas and was not less than he. Thus he accepted the lotus feet of Krishna wholeheartedly and was attached to his devotee. Now, we are going back to the story. It's a repetition of the story. I'm not going to repeat it for you because I've already done it in the past. So we are going back to the story. Vidura is the son of Vyasdev. Who is Vyasdev? The person who has written this thing. Alright? So naturally, being a son of his and another son of his is talking about it somewhere, isn't it? Sukadev. So here Vidura is also a part of the same lineage. So Vidura is born out of Vyasdev's, sperm, his body. And Vidura was purified of all passions by wandering in sacred places. And at last he reached Haridwar, where he met the great sage who knew the science of spiritual life, and he inquired from him. Shaunak Rishi therefore asked, what more did Vidura inquire of Maitreya Muni? So please, here also, I hope you got this. Haridwar is the place, Haridwar, where this sage is sitting over there waiting for Vidura to turn up. Right? And this Rishi Muni, Maitreya, he had met Sri Krishna before Sri Krishna passed away. So he had got it directly from Krishna's mouth, all the answers. In my case, what happened was something very similar. I left and I went all the way up. I returned back to Haridwar. And in Haridwar, I sat on the banks of the river for 4.5 days. My Guruji came over there, and for 4.5 days he gave me a solid lecture, reviving and giving me a peace of mind for why I am trying to run away. And then I had to come back. So you know my story for the last so many years I have been telling you. So here also what happens is Vidura goes to Haridwar. And near Haridwar there is a place where he meets this Muni, Maitreya Muni, on the banks of the Ganga Yamuna river. The river confluence is there. Now what happens over here? So Vidura is sitting in front of Maitreya Muni and he is asking questions. Alright? So if you remember, Hiranyaksha's story finished last time, yesterday. But Shaunak Rishi is taking Sutta Goswami back to where we have come from. He says, can you please tell me? It is like a, flashback. You know what a flashback is in the films, no? So here it's a flashback. Shaunaka inquired about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. There must have been many narrations of the spotless pastimes of the Lord. The hearing of such narrations is exactly like the bathing in the water of Ganga, for it can be free one from all sinful reactions. So here Shaunaka Rishi is telling, here, I want to know what happened between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So if I were to get this knowledge from you, Sutta Goswami, then I will be purified myself. Because when we listen to satsanga, you are getting purified as if taking a bath in Ganga river. Satsangs are very, very important for mankind. The company of the sages, as they call it, a person who is giving you the explanation, you will find in our, where I come from, the sages were Santa Jnaneshwar, Namdev, Tukaram, and all these were great sages and saints from that place. Now I come from the Nath Sampradaya myself. So you will find that Santa Jnaneshwar gave an exposition on the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So that is a Jnaneshwari. Then you will find that there is another very great scripture which we are doing just now. It is called Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? Now in Srimad Bhagavatam there is a portion which is called Uddhav Gita. Uddhava is given knowledge by Sri Krishna. This Uddhav Gita's exposition was done by Eknath Maharaj. Eknath Maharaj wrote this exposition down in Eknathi Bhagavat. Then there is Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj used to sing all beautiful poems, okay, for Panduranga. Like that, we come from this sampradaya where all the great sages, they gave expositions and they sang poetry. Okay. So you will find that in Maharashtra there are people who are called Varkaris also. This is a sampradaya. Basically, they go to this place, Pandharpur, and stay over there for 4 months during the rainy season, and they only take the name of God. And you may think that this is happening only in one place. Sorry, you will be amazed to know that Buddha had created an entire village, taking the help of the king. Okay? And his concubine. The king and his concubine. The concubine's name in the Buddhist scriptures is called Ambapali, whereas in the Sanatan Dharma we call her Amrapali. That's her name. See, when the Buddhists speak, they are lisping most of the time, lisping. So they lisp when they talk. Our pronunciations are Sanskrit pronunciations, so we pronounce it correctly. They call it Sutta. We call it Sutra. Do you understand? The way in which Buddhists and Hindus talk, there is a difference because our pronunciations are perfect. We go Sutra, Sutta, Dhamma. There is no Dhamma there. It is Dharma. The language was introduced in India, boss. Okay, Sanskrit was the original language. Later on, all this Pali and everything came, and they started mixing it around with their way of speaking. So it is not Dhamma, it is Dharma. I hope you get the point. So even Buddha did the same thing. During the rainy season, that's 4 months, all his disciples, devotees from all over India would go over there and stay. This is one more story I'm telling you. It so happened that during that time, there was a river spate in the river, a lot of heavy rains and stuff like that. And all the houses were washed away. So after that, they started making houses on stilts. So the houses on stilts you will find in almost all the nations nowadays which are having these problems of waterlogging and water accumulation and the river overflowing. If you go to any place in India or abroad, you will find that the reason why they have these houses on stilts is because of this reason. This happened during the time of Buddha. So they made houses on stilts. Ambapali had given more than 5,000 acres of land to Buddha. It could be 50,000, I don't care. So that much amount of land and so many houses, and people used to stay over there during this season. So all this happened at that time. So it's a very common practice. So you will find that this was just a sidetrack for you to know a little bit of history. Okay? Alright. O Sutta Goswami, all good fortune to you. Please narrate the activities of the Lord which are magnanimous and worthy, glorifying. What sort of devotee can be satiated by hearing these nectarian pastimes of the Lord? On being asked to speak by the great sages of Naimisharanya, the son of Romaharshana, Sutta Goswami, whose mind was absorbed in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, said, "Please hear what I shall now speak." Now, here we are coming back to the original story where it started. How did this Srimad Bhagavat start? Srimad Bhagavat started in a place called Naimisha Aranya. Aranya means jungle, a forest. So in the forest, all these great sages used to stay over there and perform these yagyas. So in the Naimisharanya, Sutta Goswami was sitting. He was the son of a sage, Romaharshana. He was sitting over there. He had heard the stories about Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukdev. You remember Sukdev now, okay? So these sages, they came to him in this jungle and they said, "Can you please tell us these beautiful stories?" And so you will find that these stories of the Srimad Bhagavatam are being conveyed. So what does that tell you? Our history. The Sanatan Dharma history was not a written history. It is history, by the way. It is not mythology. So it was written only much later. Because writing came much later. So what was it that came first? I want you to think. I want you to think very carefully. Don't get lost in the material world thinking, the Westerners are saying, okay, our story is so recent. No, don't do that. Let us look at a person from Stone Age. Do you think the person from Stone Age was interested in writing ABCD? No. He had no idea of writing also. What did he use his hands for? For hunting animals and stuff like that. Do you think there were food grains at that time? There were no food grains, sir. Why? Because they were living in a cave. Stone Age people lived in the caves, and the only way of conveying information was through verbal communication. Earlier it was smoke signals and all those kind of things, but verbally, like that, okay? Tushar Kapoor. I know some of you will understand what I'm talking about. There is a character in one Hindi film, He doesn't talk. He's a person who cannot, deaf or dumb, I think. So he talks in like that language. Think like that. You think these people from ancient times, they had knowledge about any language? Communication was different. So communication was verbal only. They spoke a little bit. And then later on, much later, I think somewhere in 3500 or 4000 or 5000 BC, language came into the picture. A real language, like you have the ABCD kind of thing, Something like that came into the picture. If you want to know this, if you really want to know this, there is a YouTube channel where you can see the British Museum person is talking to someone and he is giving an idea about this language. I don't know his name, by the way. So you will find that there is a very beautiful YouTube video, and there are a series of videos, by the way. So the language came like that. So first it was only verbal communication. People were hearing and you were speaking. There was nothing written down. And what they will write it on? On their hand? With what? There was no big pen company or pilot or something like that. Nobody was there. So they had to write it by stone, limestone, or some other stone. Where? On the cave walls. And they only drew pictures. That is why if you go to the Egyptian civilization, the older ones, not the recent ones, they were drawing in pictures. Isn't it? That's called hieroglyphics. Isn't it? So they only drew pictures. So if I had to convey a story of Ramayana or Mahabharata, how will I tell? I hope you are getting the whole idea about it. So this is the way in which the world went ahead. The written word came much later. So the real writing started some 3500 or 4000 or 5000 years ago only. And that is the reason why our scriptures, which were heard, they were not written. So please don't make this mistake of thinking that your scriptures are very new. No, there is nothing new in that. Okay, all the Western civilization is going to brainwash you into thinking yours is not an old civilization. It's still the newer ones. The Egyptians are the older ones. Göbekli Tepe, those kind of people. Yeah, they are there, of course. No. So understand this. So there is this thing happening. So Maitreya Muni is there, who is going to teach us what happens. Sutta Goswami continued, Vidura, the descendant of Bharata, was delighted to hear the story of the Lord, who, having assumed his own divine potency in the form of a boar, had enacted the sport of lifting the earth from the bottom of the ocean and indifferently killing the demon Hiranyaksha. Vidura then spoke of the sage as follows. Vidura said, since you know of the matter inconceivable to us, tell me, O holy sage, what did Brahma do to create living beings after evolving the Prajapatis, the progenitor of living beings? So here we are going back to the last chapter where Hiranyaksha is killed. The story was Hiranyaksha got killed. Now the question which Vidura is asking, so after that what happened? By the way, I just want to know what actually transpired when the Lord was creating this whole universe. Because see, the liberation part and things like that were left out, isn't it? We suddenly jumped into the story. The story was, oh, Hiranyaksha is going to get killed. But his mother is there, his husband is there, Kashyapa Muni is there. And you said this whole world started with Prajapati. Prajapati means what? Praja means what? Praja means land or place or location. Pati means the head of that place. So you started with Prajapati, and how did all this transpire? What exactly happened? So this is very difficult for us to understand. So this is like a history lesson for you. It is difficult to understand, so you need to pay attention to it. So Vidura inquired, how did Prajapatis, which is the progenitors of the living entities like Marichi and Swayambhu Manu, create according to the instructions of Brahma, and how did they evolve this manifested universe? Now here, I have to give you one understanding again of the subject called manifested universe. Can you tell me when did the universe manifest? You understand, if you ask this question to yourself, you will be amazed to know the universe did not manifest at all. You'll say, what? Really? Yes, of course. The day you opened your eyes from the womb, when you came out of the womb, that day when you opened your eyes, your universe manifested. Correct? Do you understand the difference between creation and manifestation? Creation means happening. Something is created out of some other object or magic, like that. No. Manifestation means coming about. You came to realize that there is something over there. Like if there is one fly sitting on your nose and you don't even know. Okay? You know the story of Ringo Starr and Barbara Bach in that movie. The fly is sitting on his nose and she takes one big bat and she squashes it. And the fly is very big, by the way. It's a funny story there. Anyway, let me not tell you. So what happens is, till you don't know there is a mosquito sitting somewhere, you will not know that it is manifest. And the moment you come to know, you'll say, oh, it's manifested. Got the point? That is a difference. So that is the reason why these words are very, very peculiar. So he says, Vidura is asking, can you tell me when these Prajapatis came and Brahmaji had given instructions to Prajapatis and then after that something happened. So how did this rest of the universe got manifested, came about? Maitreya said, when the equilibrium of the combination of the three modes of the nature was agitated by unseen activity of the living entity, by Mahavishnu and by the force of time, the total material elements were produced. So manifestation happens in this manner. Let me ask you a question. Think about it, common sense will tell you. Tell me, was radium already there or not there? It was already there. Who saw it? Marie Curie and her husband, right? Pair. Did they actually see it or what happened? Well, they were mixing something or the other. See what I'm saying? Something was mixing around and radiations kept on coming from one place and the manifestation of radium happened. Are you getting the point? The sun is constantly in dynamic motion. What is happening over there? The manifestation of the energy happens when the explosions happen on the sun. Are you getting the point? Hydrogen, helium, hydrogen, like that. The cycle is continuous. So manifestation is nothing but a phenomena which comes about by the mixing of certain elements and you observing it. But if you don't observe, if there is somebody sitting behind me, I may not even know if he's touching my head also, isn't it? Till I actually feel it. What the point? So manifestation only happens when I observe it or when I see, oh, this is it. That's how. But there is always a mixing happening. Let us look at an egg. An egg. In that egg, there is a mixing going on between the male and the female gamete. And when that mixes around, you will find that the creation of the zygote happens. Okay? Egg. EGG, egg. Okay? Now, when that happens, fertilization has happened. Isn't it fertilization? Now tell me, after fertilization, does it retain the old original this thing? No, something new has happened. So here what is being mentioned is, at the beginning, whenever it happened, God knows, there was a mixing happening around. It's like one chemical getting mixed with another. And when the mixing was happening, something was coming out of it, new stuff. This new stuff which was being poured out had its own nature. From the egg came a chicken. Does the chicken have a different nature than the egg or no? Right? And how did the egg come about? By the mixing of the sperm and the egg. Right? And how did that come about? Our boss, the whole story is going backwards. But it's exactly the same. So in a similar fashion, the equilibrium of the combination of the three modes of nature was agitated by the unseen activity of the living entity by Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu is the one who is getting up from his sleep, or maybe he's going back to sleep, who knows. At that time, the agitation was happening. I want you to think about your own story. Let us say you may be a husband or a wife, and your spouse has said some words to you. You are an idiot and a dunce, the person says to you. So let us say. Now, if you are used to this on a daily basis, the president of one country, he was wearing goggles. He is being beaten up almost every day. So for him, it's a daily story, isn't it? So think on those lines. If it is a daily story, you are not going to be affected. But if it is a new story, first time it is happening or something like that, then you are going to be paying attention to it. So what is happening over here is the mixing. The gunas are placid at the moment, and then suddenly the mixing starts happening. And then the material elements are produced. As impelled by the destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of the three kinds, evolved from the Mahatattva, in which the elements of Rajas predominates. From the ego, in turn, evolved many groups of 5 principles. Separately unable to produce the material universe, they combined with the help of the energy of the Supreme Lord and were able to produce a shining egg. This is an entire Tattva Bodh once again for you. Okay? I don't want to, fry and toast your brains just now in Tattva Bodh. Please understand, it is a very difficult subject at the moment. I have already done Tattva Bodh with you all many times. If I have to do it once again, you will sleep with a headache. All those who are staying on other part of the world, and those who are on this part of the world will have a headache over here. The whole day will go with a stinking headache. Don't bother your head about it. So this is Tattva Bodh. I will explain if you want later on. It's a separate book. Okay. So all these elements, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, they are mixing. It's 1/16th by 1/16th by 1/16th by 1/16th by half. So it's like that. So let us not go into that direction. So all this mixture happens. And that gives rise to ego. The one which is called I comes into the picture. The I. I am an egg. I am a person. My name is so and so. Like that. So, and all these things are mixing together to create these universal beings. And that is where the first egg comes into the picture. Egg. It is called, it's an egg, no? So here you will find the anda. Anda means egg. So the anda comes into the picture, and then This egg has to do something. You see, if you keep eggs in the fridge, nothing is going to, no chicken is going to fall out of the fridge. Is it going to fall out? No. It's not a fertilized egg, no. So something has to happen to the egg, fertilization, then only something happens. So till that time, the egg is just lying over there. It is called Brahma Anda. Brahma's Anda. Okay, the egg of Mr. Brahma, not Brahmaji. Brahma. So we have to now see how this works. Separately unable to produce the material universe, they combined with the help of the energy of the Supreme Lord and were able to produce a shining egg. Only the Lord can give this, what is called impetus, the energy to do something, or something has to happen. You know, for many years you may be sitting at home, or you may be sitting on an idea for many years. And then one fine day you will say, okay, I will make a nice chicken. And you are staying in Kentucky. And that day you make fried chicken. Old man. So you become the KFC founder. But you have been sitting with that idea for years. So think like this. Till the idea was not pushed ahead by the power of Lord, till that it is just lying over there. I hope you get that. Even in your brain, you have fantastic ideas. But you know you are so lazy, nothing is moving only. What to do? So it's like that. That is the reason why you require God's grace for that idea to move. So this egg which is there, no, it is lying inside of you also. So this egg, shining egg, was produced. For over 1,000 years, the shiny egg lay in the waters of the causal ocean in the lifeless state. Then the Lord entered it as Garbhoktoshayi Vishnu. So the Lord has to do something about it. Then only you will start moving. Like that, this egg is lying in the ocean for thousands of years. Milky Ocean. You know what Milky Ocean is? That ocean which we are in the Milky Way, right? Like that, there is an ocean. This is the ocean. And we are lying over there doing nothing. I want you to think. Do you think mankind started when this world started? No. It never happened like that. So one person comes, Mr. Charles Darwin, and he says, evolution. We came from the monkeys. Sorry, we never came from any monkey. He must have come from a monkey, not me. I came from God only. Because Vishnu enters this egg and he fertilizes it and does whatever he wants to. He gives energy to it, and then some changes happen. So always remember one thing. The changes will happen if the God wants it to happen. Otherwise, you are just going to be a dead egg. You can make an omelette out of it. No chicken is going to fall off your, pan. Only you will get one omelette. So like that he's saying over here. Just the egg was there. And the Lord decided, I want to enter this. And I want to make a little bit of a creature. From the navel of the personality of Godhead, Garbhoktoshayi Vishnu, sprouted a lotus flower effulgent like 1,000 blazing suns. The lotus flower is the reservoir of all conditioned souls. And for the first living entity who came out of the lotus flower was the omnipotent Brahma. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was lying on this Garbhokta ocean, entered the heart of Brahma, Brahma brought his intelligence to bear. With the intelligence invoked, he began to create the universe as it was before. So what did Vishnu do? Vishnu is Narayana basically. He is lying on this ocean of milk. He one day says, I want to do something. There's this egg lying over there. I should make something out of it. Let me give it a birth. So first I have to create a doctor, isn't it? First you need a doctor and a hospital where you can go and give birth. If it is not there, what's going to happen? So you need somebody not to do that work for you. So here first he says, let me create one Brahmaji. So from his navel comes the stalk, and from the top of that lotus flower over there, Brahmaji is sitting, and Brahmaji is in absolutely no motion. That is just lying like that only. So the Lord gives him a poke, and he says, "Okay, start your thinking process, sir. I've given you 5 heads. You know that. One head is sufficient for a man. I can't think too much. Imagine 5 heads." So Brahmaji starts thinking. And from that thinking process, he says, "Oh yeah, what is there in the fridge today? Oh, I got one cauliflower, I got one cabbage, I got potatoes, I got onion." You see, you think like this, when you ask anybody, they think like this. Today I will make this. So they think what is lying in the fridge and what is lying in the storage, and from that something gets made. Let us say you don't have eggs. Can you make an omelette? No. So you need to go buy eggs first, isn't it? So here Brahmaji is that master chef. Okay. He is looking in the kitchen. What is there? Okay, all this stuff is there. From this I have to create something. And that is how he started his creation process, because he looks in the fridge of Narayana. Narayana must be having a very big fridge. Why? You remember, his fridge is cold. Milky Ocean, very thanda, all very cold ocean. I got big, massive refrigerators over there. Right? Fishes and all is different, okay. That's a separate issue. But other things are also lying over there, isn't it? So he says, first of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. There are 5 in number and are called Tamisra, Andhatamisra, Tamas, Moha, Mohatama, Mahamoha. Now, this requires explanation. So I'll just give you the explanation of the first few for you to understand. The understanding is this. I want you to think as if you are a jailbird. You know what a jailbird is, isn't it? Now you are that poor fellow in American jail. 35 years you have been put inside by the government. And after 35 years they come to know that it is not you who has committed the crime. Somebody else has committed the crime. How many of these stories have you heard? In India, it is not possible to have 35 years inside. Why, Because nobody cares. We don't care if somebody is lying inside the jail. That fellow can keep on walking in and out of the jail. Nobody cares. But in other countries, they care for this. Oh, this person, he was falsely accused, so let us pull him out. Now, I want you to understand, what is the first thought that goes on in the mind of this person? 35 years I have been sitting inside without committing crime. I told them I was innocent. And now 35 years later, they are telling me now you can go free. Now I am 80 years old or 70 years old. 70 years old man walking out of the jail. And yes, the government says we will give you $2 million. Come on, take this money and go. Enjoy yourself. Sir, I will die tomorrow. 71st year. I won't even celebrate my cake, 71 years. What is the point of giving me $1 million? I wasted my life. You know what is the first thought that person has? Anger. He has got controlled anger. He says, I want to kill that person who put me inside this jail, especially the judge and this whole system. That is the first thing that comes to the mind of a person. Imagine the egg of Brahma. Brahmand is lying on the ocean of milk for 1,000 years. And inside that is something that is bubbling to go out somewhere. I want to go out, I want to go out, I want to go out, I want to go out. You are locked in your room and you want to go out. And you are not allowed to go. The first thing that you have is called anger. The kind of anger that you have is the first thing that comes about. It is called Tamisra. It is anger. And the anger is converting itself into dejection and hatred and this and that. So the first thing that is born out of this is called anger. 5 negative energies are coming out of it first. Andhata Misra. Blind. I hate this world. I don't like this world. Why am I over here? What is the need for me to be here? And I am put out in this world for what reason? You know, you are going to be talking like this. Then you will be talking about tamas. You know what tamas is all about. I don't even want to go. Can I go back into the jail? You know, I was sitting over there eating food every single day. I had created so many friends inside, all murderers and all hijackers and everybody, you know, goons in this world. And I was very happy. And yes, I was having an affair with that lady jailer also. I was getting good food, and now they are telling me, you take this $1 million and go out. Who's going to cook food for me? I don't have any friends outside. 35 years I was inside, now 35 years I'm outside. My wife must have run away with somebody. Or she must be married and she will be having children who are as old as 30 years or 40 years, God knows, 35 years old. What is the point of coming out just now? Who is going to look after me? Oh, my daughter is there. Oh, my daughter is there. 35 years later I am coming out. She was already 15 years old or 10 years old when I went inside. Now she is what? 45 years old? She will have her own children. Maybe grandchildren for all I know. You think she is going to take me in her house? Nobody cares. Can I just go back again? I hate this world. I don't like it. This is the thought that goes on. Alright? Then Moha and Mahamoha. This verse we will do again tomorrow or rather on Monday because this is important. The greed that will come about. You know what? I have come out today when I went inside. At that time there were no cell phones. Now today they are giving me one cell phone and saying do. I never do that. I used to stand in the queue in the bank, you know. I held the bank once upon a time. Now they are saying there are no bankers over there. I have to go to some stupid machine called ATM and remove money from there. Machine is going to give me money. So you are having that kind of a thing. And look at that fellow. He's driving a Ferrari. You know, I was driving an Oldsmobile long ago. And now this, look at this fellow. So this kind of moha comes into the picture. I want more. Latest iPhone I want. 18th, has it come? Then I will buy that one. Mahamo, extra. I want to go to Las Vegas. I want to blow my $1 million over there in one shot. So that I can earn $1 billion over there. So Mahamo. So these are the creations of 5 massive creations that come about because when this thing happens, Garbho, you know, when the egg is breaking out. So this is where we are going to stop today. And I will continue on Monday on this same topic to understand how this anger came about. Okay, tamas came about, the moha came about, the greed came about, all this. All right? So we'll stop here.